And what is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Acceleracers Hub for another video. Hopefully you guys are all doing awesome. I know, guys, 2 videos in 1 week. I know my head's exploding too. It's unbelievable. Sometimes I go like a month without posting. But today, guys, we have another sales video for you guys. And I kind of said that I was going to stop doing sales videos about, 6 or 8 months ago, whenever I stopped recording sales clips, because they just took a little bit of time. The videos are a little time consuming. They're a little boring, but some people like seeing their purchases on the channel. But anyways, when I decided I was going to stop recording sales clips, I still had a month or two's worth of sales clips on my phone that I just couldn't bring myself to delete because they were already recorded. So what we're going to do today, guys, is just go through those last couple sales clips from, 6 to 8 months ago. I don't even really remember when they were recorded, but some of you guys will probably see your purchases that you've been waiting to see for quite some time. So this is going to be the last sales video on the channel, but I just can't delete content that's recorded. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into the sales video and see what we've sold over the last couple months.
And next up, we sold 3 more near mint to mint Acceleracers cards, which were my last copy of the Cavern Realm, definitely a hard one to find. Then Riveted, and my second to last copy of Baseline. So 1 more Baseline left in stock. Get it while you can. The grand total in this order was $26 even, so thanks for that purchase. Next up, we've got some loose mint car sales to go through. So first things first, we sold a lot of 5 loose mint cars, which were a CM6 Blackwing Synkro, a CM6 Baseline, a CM6 RDO 4, a CM6 RDO 6, and a CM6 RDO 9. So great looking lot of drones right there. That was my last RDO 4 that I had in stock, but I still have some more of these RDO 9s for anyone who is interested. But the grand total in this order was $107 even to a new buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And man, there is something about a lot of loose mint Acceleracers cars. And next up, yet another lot of loose mint cars. This was a CM6 Blackwing Synkro, selling extremely quickly. Then we have a CM5 Ratified and my last CM6 Jackhammer. So if you're looking to get Synkros or Baselines, I would not wait too long because Lord knows they are flying out of my store. But the grand total in this order is $45 even to a return buyer, I believe. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And next up, we sold 3 more loose mint Acceleracers cars, which were a CM6 Blackwing Synkro, a CM6 Orange Wing Drift Tech, and a CM6 Rollin' Thunder. Love seeing Teku cars selling. They are always some of the fastest sellers for me. But the grand total in this order was $48 even to a new buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. All right, guys, next up, we sold a pretty big lot of used condition cars. These all had minor dings, scuffs, and scratches here and there. So let's go through them. It was a CM5 Black Hood Riveted. It's gonna roll across my desk. I have this lump in my desk for whatever reason. Then we had a CM6 RDO 6, a CM6 Excellium, a CM6 Blackwing Synkro, CM6 Anthracite, a CM6 RDO 9, got a little Glorm action in there. Then we had a CM5 Spine Buster that had a little chip on the spoiler. Then a CM5 Ratified, a CM5 Power Bomb, another CM5 Power Bomb, and 1 more CM6 RDO 6. This is quite the array of loose Acceleracers cars. Even though they are a little bit dinged up, they still look absolutely fantastic in the light. Love seeing them all lined up. The grand total in this order was $70 even to a new buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. All right, guys, we got some sales from over the weekend to go through. See if I can get this lighting a little better. Oh, it just gets worse the closer the lamp gets. Oh, well, you get some white lights or something. But anyway, so it was 7 loose used condition cars. There we go. So it was a Purple Spine Buster, Drift Tech, Riveted, RDO 6, Power Bomb, Synkro, and a regular Spine Buster. So we had the pair of Spine Busters and then a Synkro, Drift Tech. Some pretty good stuff in here. The grand total in this order was $57 even to a new buyer, I believe. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And next up, we sold 2 loose mint cars, which were a CM6 RDO 6 and a CM6 Baseline. There's something about a gorgeous Baseline, just pops, even next to a beauty like RDO 6. But the grand total in this order was $35 even to another new buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And next up, we sold a lot of 3 cars that did not roll. They're actually in pretty decent condition. I think I list them as used because they don't roll, but it was an Iridium, a Ratified, and a Rolling Thunder. They all had a wheel that didn't turn, but overall, they're still pretty good for customs or just display cars. The decals are still mostly there. But and the same buyer also purchased a loose mint CM6 Nitrium, which was the last Nitrium that I had in stock. But the grand total in this order was, let me think real quick, it was $34 even. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. All right, guys, and next up, we sold a lot of 4 loose used condition Acceleracers cars, and none of them rolled. It was a CM6 Baseline, a CM6 Purple Spine Buster with that gorgeous chrome spoiler, a CM6 Ratified, and a CM6 Iridium. So they all had a wheel or two. Ratifieds are pretty bad, especially if you buy them loose, that one of their axles will be bent or something, and they just don't roll 100%. And a bunch of those Iridiums that we opened out of the packs didn't roll either. But they all still work for display purposes, and I'm sure a lot of customers, gosh, what's up with this lighting? Oh my goodness. Oh well, it's just gonna look a little rough. But I'm sure a lot of customizers are able to get them to roll again, or you can just use them as display pieces. But anyways, the grand total in this order was $24, even to a return buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And next up, guys, we sold a lot of 6 loose mint Acceleracers cards, including some of the more desirable ones. So it was a Baseline, an RDO 6, an Iridium, a Purple Spine Buster, which seems to be becoming very popular. I saw a lot of those Purple Spine Busters. Then a CM6 Blackwing Synkro and a CM6 RDO 9, definitely the most expensive out of those in this lot here. Let's see if I can get some better lighting on them. But the grand total in this order was $116, even once you include shipping to a return buyer. So thanks for that purchase, and hopefully you enjoy. All right, guys, so we have an absolutely massive order of trading cards that came through over the weekend. Let's go through them real quick. So first things first, it was a lot of 24 near mint to mint cards, or lightly played near mint, excuse me. But honestly, guys, these are mostly near mint condition cards. Maybe just ones that had like tiny nicks on them. But like the quality of those are nothing different than what you'll get out of my listing. But anyway, so 24 cards there, and then it was a lot of 87 other cards. Let's flip through them real quick. We'll go quick. It was a lot of duplicates, so it was 3 copies of Simulator Run, 1 Slit Grip, 2 copies of Diffusion Glass, 3 copies of Vectra Nitrium. Then it was 2 copies, I believe, of Reaction Time, 2 copies of Lightning Barrage, 2 copies of Total Traction. I think I'm down to 1 of those left. 2 copies of Sand Speed, 2 copies of RD10 version 2. I assume this guy is making decks out of these. Then there's 2 copies of Sound Buffer, my last copy of Lightning Rod out of stock, one of the coolest card arts in the game. Then a copy of the Junk Realm, 3 copies, my last 3 copies actually of Active Camouflage, so we're out of stock there too. 3 copies of Pedal to the Metal. And continuing on, it was 2 copies of Folding Corners, 3 copies of Hyper Jump, and I'm just starting to run real low on a lot of these cards, guys. I'd be stunned if I still had cards in stock probably, March of next year, but we'll see what comes. Then we had 2 copies of Mega Base Box, my last 2 copies of Endure, out of stock on that one. Love that card art as well. Then it was 4 copies of Asphalt Anchor, my last 2 copies of RDO 8 version 2, so out of stock on that as well. Then we had 3 copies of Hot Wire, 2 copies of Choke Valves, then 4 copies of Dodging Disaster, and an ace that you have to have in every single deck. Then we had 2 copies of 2D, 3 copies, I believe, 3 copies of Mega Charger, 3 copies of Wind Shark, then a copy of the Warp Realm, 3 copies of Under the Hood. I only have 4 copies of that left, which is when I had like 30 of at one point. Then we had 3 copies of Teleport, 2 copies of Ice Yeti, 2 copies of Moss Gorillas, a copy of Draft, my last copy of Ratified 2 from the starter set. Then we had 2 copies of the Chrome Realm. I only have 1 copy left there. Then we had 2 copies of Meteor Shower, 2 copies of Aero Package, 2 copies of Wheel Shield, and then the last part of the order was my last 2 copies of Technetium. So both copies of Technetium are gone, and my last 2 copies of RDO 9. So I'm assuming there's going to be a mean Silencers drones deck coming out of this, but the grand total in this order for everything you see here was $366 even. So thanks for that purchase, and hopefully you enjoy. And single-handedly, this order put me out of stock on at least 1, 2, and probably another 5 or 6 cards in there. So cleaning me out. And then the last order of the day was 3 loose damaged condition cards. It was a CM6 Baseline, a CM6 Ratified, and a CM6 Blackwing Synkro. Sold these for fairly cheap just because they are pretty dinged up. The Synkro had a cracked back, what do you call it, a windshield or rear window, whatever you want to call it. That was cracked, and then the Baseline had all sorts of scuffs. I mean, look at that, just damage, scuffs, scratching, and the spoiler was actually broken. I think I could probably pop it off if I wanted to. It's got a nice little crack in it. And of course, the Ratified didn't roll. Look at those wheels back there. They're going all over the place. But the grand total in this order was $19 even. It was headed out to Katano Customs, actually. So I know you've seen a couple of his customs posts in the subreddit. Hopefully these will become some beautiful Acceleracers customs. All right, guys, next up we sold a lot of 4 loose, lightly worn cards, which were a gorgeous CM6 Purple Spinebuster, a CM5 Power Bomb, a CM6 Baseline, and the last card in the lot was a CM6 RDO 6. Gotta say, guys, they're all great looking cards, but that Purple Spinebuster always takes my breath away. It just had a little bit of a paint chip on the top there. But the grand total in this order was $32, even to a return buyer, so thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And last order of the day was 7 more loose, lightly worn cards. These cards are selling very fast now. First up was a CM6 Iridium, a CM6 Blackwing Synkro, CM6 Drift Tech, CM5 Powerbomb, CM6 Nitrium, a CM5 Spinebuster, and a CM6 RDO 6 to wrap it up. So a great looking lot of cards here. We got some Silencers, some Teku Love, always got a Spinebuster representing for the Metal Maniacs. But the grand total on this order was $55, even to a new buyer, or no, return buyer, excuse me. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. All right, guys, some sales from over the weekend. It's been a while since I recorded some sales clips. I did not do much recording last week. I was pretty busy, unfortunately. So my apologies if any of you guys don't see your sales on the channel. But first things first, it was 2 loose mint cards, which were a CM6 Purple Spine Buster and a CM6 Baseline. This Purple Spine Busters are selling very quickly, and the Baselines, I can never get more than 3 or 4 of these in stock before they start selling. They just start in super high demand. But the grand total on this order, once you include shipping, was $40 even. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And then next up, we have something of a rarity these days. We sold a Highway 35 carded car. This was a carded Highway 35 Chrysler Thunderbolt. Definitely one of my favorite paint jobs in the line. Love that purple and the blue. I think it was pretty high up in my individual rankings. The only issue with it was it had a dent in the top of the package, which is a bit of a bummer, but some people can pull those out, I think. I didn't really want to attempt it and risk making it worse, but the grand total on this order was $155 even to a new buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And then the last order from over the weekend was these 4 loose, lightly used cars. It was a CM6 Iridium, a CM6 Synkro, a CM5 Riveted, and a CM6 RDO6. So the grand total on this order was $36 even to a new buyer, I believe. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. All right, guys, we had a couple of sales to go through from over the weekend. So first things first, we sold a Gen 2 Realm Series RDO6 on a very beat up blister. Look at all the creasing and wear on this thing. But it is still factory sealed, and it's definitely a pretty cool looking Gen 2 model with that Storm Realm design. So it was the Gen 2 Realm Series RDO6, and the same buyer also purchased this no decal Air Synkros. So this is a Synkro that is missing the hood decal, which is very interesting. And I bought it in a big lot from a seller that I bought a lot of loose cars from. So I trust him 100% when he says that he got it like this with no hood decal, and there's no real evidence that there was ever one even there. There's no scuffs or scratching. I don't know how hard it is to remove decals, but for all intents and purposes, I'm assuming it's 100% legit. I've got no reason to believe it's not a no hood decal Air Synkro. But anyways, the grand total in this order was $65 even to a return buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And next up, we sold a lot of 2 loose mint cards, which were a CM6 Iridium and a CM6 Baseline. I'm starting to run low on these Baselines again. As soon as I get them in stock, they start selling like wildfire. I always thought the Synkro was a more popular card, but goodness gracious, these Baselines sell quick. The grand total in this order was $35 even to another return buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And the last purchase from over the weekend, first things first, a buyer purchased my last carded RDO9 that I had in stock, had it reserved for a little while, and it is on a pretty good looking blister too, actually. So a carded RDO9, and the same buyer also purchased 3 near mint foil cards, or rare cards, I should say. First one was a foil hyper reverb. Check out the hollow effect on that card, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. And he also purchased arguably the rarest silencer's vehicle that's not a foil, which is Cov Light. And he also purchased an Octanium card, and these were my last copies of Cov Light and Octanium and Hyper Reverb as well. So all 3 of those are now out of stock again. The grand total in this order was $134 even to a return buyer. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. First things first was a lot of 5 near mint to mint Acceleracers cards, which were Hack Mimic, which is back out of stock. Then we had Hairpin Turn, Avalanche, Hyper Power Rage, which always sells so fast. I'm not sure why this card is in such high demand. It is a wicked card art, but it goes so quick. And then Suspension Enhancers, which I have, I think, 2 more copies of, and I'm sure they won't last long. But the grand total in this order was $27 even. Then we sold the first of the foils. It was an RDO1 version 2 card going out to a buyer who I think this was his last non-3D foil or Jump Jets related card. So he's got a full set of the 235 cards that are fairly, attainable. But the grand total in this order was $30 even, so thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy. And then this is probably, I think, the 3rd or 4th largest purchase we've ever had. Maybe the 5th, I'm not sure. But definitely pretty far up there. So we're going to go through the commons and uncommons first. It was a total of 31 total cards. So it was 2 orders of camo skin, 2 copies, excuse me. Then we had both my copies of Shortcut that I pulled back out of stock. Then my Rocket Socket, my Harpoon, those are both out of stock as well. Then we had 3 copies of Electric Fry, my last copy of Dual Driller Hyperpod. They easy come, easy go, right back out of stock. 2 copies of Guts, 2 copies of Ice Shrapnel. Then we had 2 copies of Tweak Box, 2 copies of Mutant Vultures. Then we had 3 copies of Recover Control, which I think I'm down to my last one. 2 copies of Forest Inferno, and then my last All or Nothing is now out of stock again. And then, guys, this is where it got pretty intense. So the buyer purchased the 3D foil Sweeper Strike card. Great looking 3D foil there. So that was the first of the 3D foils. He also purchased a 3D foil Phantom Form, probably the prettiest card art in the card game. I say that all the time. It is just absolutely out of this world. And then a 3D foil Metro Realm. One of the Metro Realms is gone. check out that hollow effect. So 3 3D foils in one order, and we're not done yet. Next up was the foil battering bubble card, the foil tsunami card, the foil tornado vortex card, and the foil home track advantage card. So all in all, I'm not 100% sure what the total on this was because there was a couple of separate different orders, but I'm pretty sure the grand total came out to like right at $1,050 even for everything you see here. See if I can get some better lighting on it. Just absolutely out of this world. Thank you so much for this purchase, and congrats on your 3D foils. Those are going to be a huge addition to any set. So thanks for that purchase. Hopefully you enjoy.
And that is going to wrap it up for this sales video, guys. Not too long, nothing, crazy 40-minute sales video like I did that one time. But hopefully some of you guys enjoyed seeing your purchases on the channel, guys. It's kind of cool to see stuff that I don't have in my inventory anymore. It's a little light these days, guys. It's a lot of common vehicles, common cards. But you know me, I've always got my eyes open. I am locked in at all times on eBay, seeing if I can find something. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button for me, subscribe to the Acceleracers Hub for more Acceleracers related content, and stay tuned for another video next week, guys. Peace out, guys.